Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or good evening, whatever it is in your part of the world. Excuse me. I got my co host Oreo here with me. You guys tell the cats I was going to need a new co host, and then just as I was starting the live, Oreo came over. Don't expect him to stay long, though, because he comes to visit, but he normally doesn't stay with me too long. But maybe he will today. Well, first in here was Carol, the Rambling Peaks. Yep, there we go. Hello, Carolina Country Homestead 101. I just subscribed to your channel, and I'll be checking that out later. Hello, Austin. Hello, Judy. Hello, JMB. Yeah, I'll get to the doctor's appointment here shortly. It wasn't really a bad appointment, but it had one little problem. Hey, Domino. Hello, Arlene. Hello, Demoose. Hello, Lee. Hello, Joanne. Oh boy, Judy's home alone. Now you behave, Judy. Yes, Judy. Oreo is a big boy. I would estimate he's around 15 pounds. Yeah, he's now my oldest cat. Batman was 15 days older than Oreo. So, Oreo's the oldest. Yeah, I hope I can make that, Carol. I maybe, if I do make it, because I can't always make, though, it just seems like it's a bad time. But if I do make it, I might be trying to balance 2 or 3 lives at that time. You're welcome, Carolina Country. I'm doing okay, Austin. Hello, Robin. And I know you wondered, no, I didn't get my song finished up for this week. I should be getting back to normal. Between being sick and then Batman and Superman, it's really thrown me off. Even though I haven't actually been sick in a couple weeks, or before Labor Day, I just took a long time to recover from that. I was only sick for 3, 4, maybe 5 days, but it's taken weeks to recover. Oh, definitely I will, Carol. Yeah, I'll try my best to make it, Carol. or depending on how swollen it is, Judy, you might want to get them back in just to have it checked to make sure it's not an infection. Or at least take a picture of their incisions and send it to the vet or stop in with the picture. Just be on the safe side. Well, thank you, Robin. Yeah, I got started on the song, but I just never finished it up. I think last week I did the same thing. But next week, I'll have one. Hello, Emily. Hello, Ed. Oh, okay, I'm the bottom chat now, so we'll talk about my doctor's appointment. Well, I got my doctor's appointment Friday morning, and he said that I should have an injection, and he believes the same thing that the orthopedic doctor believes, that most likely it's going to provide some brief relief for maybe a couple weeks. But more importantly, they will be able to confirm that the pain is coming from my hip. And he said the way I'm walking and stuff, he's pretty sure that that is where it's coming from. He was going to do the injection, but right where the injection site would be, I had a slight rash there because my skin's so flabby from my weight that I sweat and gets a little bit of a rash every now and then. And he said there was a possibility there could be some infection in that. And if he pushed the needle through it, it would push the infection inside my body. And he said that is life-threatening. And he said he just wasn't willing to take the risk. So I got a cream ordered. They'll be here tomorrow. That he recommended, some, I can't think of the name of it, some kind of medicated cream. He said rub that on for a week and that should clear right up. So I'm going to do that. And then I have an appointment to go back a week from tomorrow. And then he'll do the injection and see what happens from there. And I also need time to lose some weight. So even though the injection is going to put the surgery off 3 months, that's fine because I use that 3 months to try to lose some weight. They can still do the surgery at my weight, but it'd be best not to. In fact, he said some places won't do it. They're cut off as if your BMI, body mass index, is 40 or above. They won't do the surgery. He said their cutoff is 45, and I'm at 42. So they technically can do the surgery, but it's just better if I could get the BMI below 40, then, which I figured it out, that's approximately 15 pounds. Then it's definitely better. So they're not just delaying things for the sake of delaying them. There actually is a reason behind everything they're doing. Well, Robin, I don't know if you noticed, but the last 2 late night services. I didn't say amen after the prayer and didn't tell everyone to have a good night. Well, let's just say when I woke up, it was all over. Yeah, last night and Thursday night, I fell asleep. Yes, Judy, just err on the side of caution. Maybe it's nothing. I know some swelling is okay, but swelling can also be a sign of infection. So it's best just to let them know. And if they say that's normal, everything's fine, great. If they say, well, that looks like it might be infected, you better bring them back in, then you get them in there before it gets really bad. Yeah, Emily, I basically can't walk. Even in the house, just like to walk from my chair to the microwave, which is probably 6 feet. I've got to have my cane. I can't do that unassisted. So even though I can get on my feet and move my feet, I've got to have my cane or rollator to go anywhere. So that's why I say basically I can't walk right now. I'm not sure what you're asking there, Robin. I'm not familiar with the the flucon. I'm not sure what that is. Yep, Emily. That's what they're expecting of me is a week or two. But as long as it takes the pain away for a week or two, then they will know for a fact that the pain's coming from my hip and the hip replacement is actually gonna help me. Hello, Jim Rockford. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Mona. Oh. Yeah, that's right, Robin. If 90% of the time for anyone's live, if I don't say anything that I'm leaving or say anything at the end, usually I've fallen asleep or an emergency came up and I had to leave real quick. Well, you had a chance to live next door, Judy. Sent you and Tony information on that property that was like 3/4 of a mile down the road. Yeah, it would have taken some work though. There's no buildings on it or anything. I think it said it had water and septic on the property, but there was nothing hooked up there. Oh yeah, I couldn't live without my cane, Emily. Yep, I like that saying, Judy. Jeff has a shirt that says that on it. I love that shirt. No crutches for me, Emily. I've never been on crutches, and I actually tried crutches one time just to see if I could use them, and nope. I had a sprained ankle, and I was going to try the crutches, and it didn't work out good at all. I figured I was better off just hopping around trying to keep weight off that ankle than use crutches because I would end up with a lot more than a sprained ankle. Oh, okay, the cream. Um, Actually, I got the paper right here. Yeah, I found it on Amazon for like $5. So I didn't even bother trying to find it locally. Figure that saved me from trying to go into a drugstore and look for it. Um, it's Tropical CLOTAIMAZOLE 1%. Yeah, I'll put that in chat. Yeah, he looked it up on his phone and said, "Let me just show you what it is, or you want me to write it down for you?" And I said, "You better write it down for me." Yeah, it happened, Robin. I'm always hitting the wrong key. Yeah, maybe I should try something like that, Judy. Yes, sleep will help you heal. That's right, Robin. No, that wasn't bad, JMB. They actually wanted to try to get me in this week. They didn't have any actual appointments set because he wanted to do it early in the morning. Because he said if they could do it first thing in the morning before it gets warm and I start sweating, it would be best. They didn't actually have any 8 o'clock appointments open, but she said she could double up because they don't schedule the appointments that tight. But it would have had to be sometime between Monday and Thursday. And actually tomorrow I don't have anything going on. But Tuesday and Wednesday I have appointments. Tuesday for my car and Wednesday for Dixie. So I said, well, maybe just be better off going with the following Monday then. Yep, I've heard that, Robin, that a lot of people are getting unsubbed. Well, that's okay, Emily. You don't miss too many lives. And it was a short one, wasn't even an hour long. Because I wasn't doing the best on Wednesday. Yeah, I just can't do it, Emily. Back when I was younger and in better shape, I couldn't use crutches, so I just can't see being able to use them now. Hello, Barbara. Yes, Reverend Joe, it is. It probably is similar, Robin. And I also have a powder here that I've been using. It dries your skin up. And he said that's good to use also. But he wanted me using the medicated cream also. Okay. What's going on with my laptop? Just all of a sudden, it popped up ready to detach. And now it's saying attach. Must be the button on it to detach it. That must be stuck down or something. Yeah, I heard that click over there. Didn't know what it was. Hello, Anne. Okay, cutie. Yeah, I'm finding there is a lot of maybe it's a little bit different, but basically same thing. Use people, cats, dogs. Sometimes just different version. You need a different oh, what am I trying to think of? The dosage needs to be a little different. I got the cat on the screen, and with the paid version of StreamYard, that's an option. I wish it was a little bit bigger. I should try to see if there was a setting for it. I don't think there is. I wish I could make that a little bit bigger. Hello, Annie Jan. Yeah, I'm sorry if anyone's having any issues. It's my laptop if you are. Because I see at one point here I briefly froze up and screen just went black on my laptop for a second. And then it came right back. I don't know if that's going to affect the stream. It doesn't seem to be. It seems to be okay on my phone, except for one time I know the Well, I guess I'm at the bottom of the chat now. Hello, Ark Wild Man. Hope you had a good vacation. Okay, Arlene. Yeah, I can pretty much, but I know there's been some funny stuff going on my laptop. Hopefully, I can start getting back to my normal lives now. Give updates on everyone. Good. I am going to have to make an appointment for Fluffy. She's a little better now, but yesterday she was getting very congested. But she hasn't been to the vet for that since May. So she's definitely doing better since she was spayed. Because she was going about every month for that. And ever since she got spayed, her hair grew back, and she's not getting the upper respiratory stuff like she was for a while now. But I think it's to the point now where I'm gonna make her an appointment. Dixie goes in on Wednesday for blood work. She's never had blood work before because when I was having the other cats done, she was pregnant, and they recommended not doing blood work on her or Daisy, and I wasn't sure about Domino at that time. Turned out Domino wasn't pregnant, but didn't do the blood work on her either. They said it puts trying to draw the blood out of them puts a lot of stress on them, and it's not something you want to do with a pregnant cat. So those three have got to get their blood work done. And she's got a little bit of that skin condition that she deals with. It's not real bad, but I imagine since she's there, they'll probably give her some medicine for that. And then I think I'm going to have to take Dino in for his skin condition also. Because he's starting to get open sores from his skin. And it's been quite a while since he's been there, so they're doing pretty good with that. So it looks like those three are going to be going. And everyone else seems to be doing good. Daisy and Felix seem to be getting better from when they went. So hopefully they're good now. Yeah, I thought it was Emily. Well, with mine, Anne, I have to click every time to put the cat on the screen. If I don't click it, it won't come up. I have to click show cat on screen. And I have to do that every time, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Hello, Cane Corso. Hello, Bev. Hello, Eunice. Yeah, my cats may have something like that, Eunice. No, they've never been tested for it. But I may ask them to do some testing if it's vaccine for or something they can treat them for. I may have them test them for that to see if they have that. Because the thing with the vet that I go to is they like to try to keep everything very basic. To keep the costs down, you request it. In fact, any test that they do, they'll ask you, is it okay if we do this? So I have to talk to them and see about that. Good Monday morning, Jonesy. Yeah, the only one of mine that they were really concerned over the immune system was Superman. They said he had a very weak immune system. Oh, yeah, you don't want to get overheated doing that, Eunice. You know, I think every time my laptop goes black for a second, I'm freezing up. So I'll have to either get that straightened out or use a different laptop next time. My newest one, I'm because the cats go across the keyboard and mess that up. Into tablet mode, the keyboard's not active. '87 here. It's nice to have those summertime temperatures back. Because it was cold there for a while. About a month. From the middle of August until just a few days ago, we were way below normal. Thank you, Emily. Hello, Shawnee. Well, I could use my phone, Emily. Well, I probably could use my old phone. I was going to say the only thing is that I'd have trouble reading chat. Yes, definitely, Reverend Joe. It is better video using the laptop. Oh, good luck with that, Anne. Hope everything turns out good. Okay, I'm bombing chat again now. Well, the dogs are doing good. Goldie still likes to go under the house. Sometimes I don't see her for 2 or 3, maybe. I wish she would stay out with the other ones, though. Because especially Honey gets depressed when Goldie's not out there with them. Buddy, he pretty easy going. Well, you can tell Honey's just not the same when Goldie's not with them. And I don't know why Goldie does that. Because when she's out with the other ones, she's bouncing around just as happy as she can be. But she's looking good. So she's got to be coming out to eat at some point. Every time I go over there, Buddy and Honey are right there to greet me. Yeah, I think Goldie's feeling okay because when she does come out, she's just as lively as she can be. And after she disappeared for 10 days, she's been that she's keeping her weight right up. So I don't know what's going on. Um, this right here, yep, this is Fluffy. Hey, Fluffy. I didn't realize she was over there and tried running in chat. Well, hopefully later on this fall, I can get some people here and get the whole yard fenced in. So then the dogs have more room to roam. And then I can get my livestock guardian dogs here. And hopefully she'll be a little different then. Hello, Bubba. Hello, Texas homegrown girl. Carolyn, right? Yeah, it's nice that Fluffy's got her nice long hair back again now, so everyone can see why I named her Fluffy. Because before she got spayed last winter, she was bald. And that was one thing the vet had right. She thought that was the issue, and it was. Yeah, she's been doing very well. She got spayed in late February. All of her hair's grown back, and she's not having the upper respiratory problems that she was. Like I was saying earlier, I decided yesterday it's time to make an appointment for her. I've been kind of sitting on the fence with that for a while now because she's had a runny nose and stuff, but she didn't seem to be too bad. But yesterday, she was so congested, she was having trouble breathing. So I'm going to make her an appointment tomorrow. But that'll be the first time since May that she's been to the vet. And before she got spayed, she was going every month. Sometimes she wasn't even quite making it a month. 3.5 weeks. So that definitely did something for her too. Well, she'd rolled up in a ball, actually, Emily. Here's her tail, up around, and here's her head. Whoops. She didn't like that. She raised her head up. But curl right up in a ball. Yep, that's it, Reverend Joe. She's curled up in a ball. I think I'll have a couple more cats spayed, Judy. I think I'm gonna have Daisy and Dixie done because they're getting older. They're both coming up on the 5 years old. Daisy will be 5 in October, and Dixie will be 5 in December. And I don't want them getting that disease that unspayed cats get. Start to pyometra, I think it is. I don't want them getting that. And they say the older they get, the more likely they are to get that. Yep, Emily. Fluffy's in a fluffy ball. Hello, Tony. Yeah, I gotta get ready for winter too. I gotta dig out my sweatpants and get them washed and stuff. You don't even know where they are. I gotta find them. Cause when it got so cold, I was still wearing shorts because I didn't know where my sweatpants were. There's only a couple times I went outside real early in the morning. I'll tell you, going out when it's 51, 52 degrees, that kind of chilly. Yeah, I normally don't get the girls spayed because of it being a bigger surgery than having the boys done. That's why I usually just get boys done. But I don't want them getting that thing I was talking about there. Okay, Eunice. Just make sure you don't overheat. Yeah, at some point, I got two more boys to get neutered. But they're both younger than I want to do it right now. Or you're not alone, Ed. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about issue to YouTube lately. No, my Zet doesn't charge more after they go through heat. They charge more if they're in heat when they spay them. But other than that, it's the same price whether it's before the first heat cycle or if they're 10 years old. I can't remember exactly what the price is, but I know it's less than $100 for the spay and rabies shot. Because they're required by law to give them the rabies shot if they haven't had it. So they add that in the price. And then if they've had their rabies shot already, then they just deduct it off the price. But I know it's less than 100. I didn't think that was possible, Ed. I thought each account had to have a different email address, unless it's a branded account. Because I do have my main account and 5 branded accounts. Maybe that's what's going on. Yep, some of them are, Bubba. Yeah, we're fortunate to have a very good vet in Waldron. Well, you know what's a lot of fun with big cats, Judy? When you've got a nice tall headboard on your bed and Oriole jumped from the headboard onto your chest when you're sleeping. He did that to me one time. Yeah, my vet definitely would have been less than that, Judy. Well, I don't know. You're saying you had to pay extra for that, so maybe not. I know that right now, this vet is a lot less than I was paying in New York. In the last few years I was in New York, I didn't take a cat to the vet. So probably 5 or 6 years ago. An office call at the vet I go to now is $58. And the last time I went to a vet in New York, and that was one of the cheaper ones. That wasn't even one of the expensive ones. It was about $80. Hello, Troy. Whatever it takes, Joanne. Yeah, she's not gonna eat right. You can cook some for her. There you go. Yeah, it's good to keep up on that eye treatment. That's important. Well, last few days the weather's been pretty good, Bubba. We went for a while there. It was getting downright cold, but now it's back up nice weather again. Hello, Paul. Yep, same here, Joanne. I know one thing, Ed. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have set things up different. Because well, all of them except my Peter King channel that I originally started with, all the rest of them are all branded accounts. So where some people get 10 memberships to gift every month, I don't because it's a branded account. I'm not eligible to receive gifted memberships on anyone's channel. If I'd known all this stuff back then, I wouldn't have done a branded account. I would have set up a whole new account, but I didn't know. Well, I've got get my diesel heater set up. I've got two brand new ones. One of them is a Vivor, just like the one I had last year that was a piece of junk. I bought it before I started having all the issues with the other one. But hopefully that's a good one. And then I have another one that's a different brand that I'm hoping to be better. But I'll have to get one of them set up at some point. Right now, I still got the ACs. And in fact, one AC's running right now. Okay, you have a good night, Texas Homegrown Girl. I'm sorry you don't have a good signal. Yeah, I hope you can get that straightened out, Ed. Okay. Mama chat again, so I guess time to move on to the chickens and guineas now. I'm sorry I'm putting you to sleep, Joanne. Um, yeah, they're all doing good. The two guineas that I hatched out last summer are just about ready to go out free ranging with the big guinea. They're getting pretty good size now. So might be turning them loose shortly. Then I got 13 little guineas. They're still in the house. It'll be a while before they get turned loose. So hopefully, by the time they do get turned loose, then they can start taking care of these darn ticks. Because the ticks are horrible. And I've got, let's see, and I've got 35 chicks. Yeah, I think it's 35. 32 of them pullets. And then I got 3 cockerels. Which it's not out of the question that they made a mistake on an Easter egger because it's happened a few times before. The Easter eggers are very hard to tell the difference. But there should be 32 and 3. So hopefully I'll have some eggs shortly. No, the diesel heater was very good on fuel. It only cost maybe a quarter of what the propane heater costs to run. But the thing is, I was having some major issues with that one that I had. And that's just complete junk now. It just got to the point where I couldn't even get it to run again. I was just kidding with you, Joanne. I know you're not feeling good. Oh yeah, ticks are out year round, Emily. They take a brief vacation right during the dead of winter, but for the most part, they're out year round. You might go a month or so with no ticks, but that's about it. Yep, 13 real young ones, Emily. Then the two that I hatched out last summer, and the one adult that I still have. So I've got 16 altogether. Yep, same here, Joanne. We might have a month. Of course, you don't get the winters there that we get here. But we usually have a week, 2 weeks of real bad weather. Like last winter, I was snowed in for a week. Hello, John. Think I've seen you here before. The fleas aren't as bad as the ticks are here, Joanne. Just walking out to my car, which I don't park that far from the front door. Just walk out to my car. Sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 ticks on me. And go out into the yard, then I'm covered with ticks. I've got to find some kind of tick repellent. I really don't like using DEET. I know it's one of the best repellents that there is, but it burns my skin. I don't think that's good. When you're spraying something on your skin that's burning, I just don't think it's good. Hello, Heather. Yeah, there's fleas around here. but they don't seem to be horrible. The ticks is what I have really bad here. Well, not too bad of a day, John. Yeah, Drew has really started getting some work done on his property now. He's got big things coming. Well, Emily, the ticks aren't bad in January and the first part of February. And that's only because it's getting down 20 degrees at night and not getting much above 50 during the day. Yeah, I didn't make you live, Emily. I saw that you were live. Well, I wasn't able to tune in right then. Yeah, that's funny, Judy, how certain areas it ticks, certain areas it fleas. Well, there's fleas here, but they're nowhere near as bad as ticks are. I was wondering if that would work on ticks, Joanne. I know they say that works really good for mosquitoes. I might try that. Hello, Nancy. Well, it's kind of close to completion. We're just waiting for the contractor to be able to come back and do the work. I don't think it's going to take long. When he came to look at the job, there was the contractor, his business partner. Of course, I don't know if his business partner goes on the job with him or not. And he had two of his employees with him. So there was at least three of them. And I wouldn't think doing the floor and what they need to do, the doors, and then the porch. I wouldn't think that would take them more than 2 weeks at the most. And I know they were here on Labor Day, and he estimated 2 weeks before they could do it. But he was listing off everything that they had to do before they got here. And it sounded like it was more like a month of work. So, just the 14th. Yeah, I would think probably by middle of October they should have it done. And I've already had some people say they'll come and help get me moved in. So I should be in there before winter. Yeah, it's worth a try, Joanne. Because I get a really good deal on vanilla. I buy the quart bottles. I can get a 4-pack of them. And it's a very good deal I get on them. Yes, John, that was mentioned about Superman. At the ER, they said that could be bobcat fever. It also could be FIP. I'm leaning toward FIP because he had a weakened immune system. We knew that. So he just couldn't fight it off. And they say in a small percentage of cats, I guess it's not uncommon for a cat to be infected with a virus that causes FIP, but it only mutates in a small percentage of cats. So I think that's what happened to him. He did have a tick on him. Several of the cats have had ticks on them recently. But I was reading that it's only the Lone Star tick that transmits bobcat fever. And I haven't seen any Lone Star ticks this year. I had a couple Lone Star ticks on me last year, but this year I haven't seen them. Hello, Lauren and Joel. Even if I am Nancy, it shouldn't be too bad, but I definitely should be in the big house before winter. Because I definitely want to be in there before I have my hip replacement. Because I have a lot more room to move around for recovery. Yeah, I've never used flea bombs, and I don't like them. I got fleas pretty well under control. I give my cats cap action if they get very many fleas on them. And then I comb them with a flea comb and stuff, and pick fleas off from them. And I seem to have the fleas under control. Hello, Katie. Yes, I actually called the ER the next night and talked to them about FIP, and I talked to my regular vet about it. Because I'd like to get more than one person's opinion on it. And they both told me basically the same thing on it. My concern is I had planned on bringing Candy Cane, Dream, Lily, and Rose over here when the contractors were working on the house. Even though originally I wasn't going to bring them over here. Then I decided I would do that when they're working on the house. And then this came up with Superman, and it made me nervous. So what's going to happen now is they're going to stay over there. Because everything should. And then when I move over there, I'm just going to make sure everything's cleaned and disinfected and stuff before it goes over. So hopefully nothing gets transmitted over there. And while they're working on the house, it was just delivered yesterday. I don't know if I ever showed it in a video. Yes, I think I did. Last year, I got a chicken enclosure. It's not too tall. It's long and narrow. In fact, that's what I have my chicks in that are outside right now. Well, I got another one of those that I'm going to set up in the house, and it's easy to move it room to room. And I think I'm going to start out with it in the kitchen. And then when the contractors come, I'm going to put the cats in there while they're here. And then when they leave in the afternoon, then let the cats out. And that will keep them contained. They can have the doors open when they're taking supplies in and out if they need to. And cats won't be getting in their way. So hopefully everything will work out that way. And what they told me, both the ER vet and my regular vet, they said it's not uncommon for cats to have the coronavirus that causes FIP. But it's a small percentage of cats that will actually mutate in. So it's really, really hard to prevent them from getting that. Which all the cats are in this house, I figure they've already been exposed to it. And I guess hopefully it doesn't mutate in any of them. But the other cats, I want to try to not expose them to it. And another thing that my vet told me, with the number of cats that I have, that increases the chances that it would happen again just based on the number of cats. She said if you've only got one or two cats, it'd be highly unlikely to ever happen again. Yeah, I love the Cap Action, or Capstar's name brand. I use the cheaper Cap Action. Are you asking about the Cap Action, Judy? Cap Action Capstar is the same thing. Just Capstar's the name brand and it costs more. It's for fleas. It's very effective, but it's not long acting. It will kill, they say 90%, but it's closer to 100% of fleas that's on the cat. Right then, the adult flea. They won't kill any larvae or anything, or flea eggs, but it'll kill the adult fleas. And they say you can give it as often as every 24 hours if you have reinfestation. But I've had cats get fleas really bad in the past, and it'll be a week before the fleas really get bad on them again. And it seems like every time you give them one, they've got fewer fleas the next time. Oh, yeah, I can understand that. I definitely want to get it under control. Yep, they've got that for cats and dogs. If I'm not mistaken, the ones for dogs, they have two or three different versions based on the weight of the dog. And for cats, they just have one. They're supposed to be at least 2 pounds and up to 25 pounds. I actually have used it. I used it on Teddy when he was almost 2 pounds. He was, I think he was 1 pound, 14 ounces. And he had fleas really bad. I gave him half a tablet. And it worked. It didn't hurt him. And ever since then, if I'm giving it to any cats that are less than about 4 pounds, I only give them half a tablet, and it seems to work. Because kind of pricey, but it definitely works. Yep, that's the biggest thing, Eunice, is it doesn't kill the eggs. But I have found that, like I was saying, each time I give a cat a tablet, the next time they have fewer fleas on them. Yeah, that wouldn't work for me, Katie. Cats would have that water dumped within an hour. Well, I did have one time, but I haven't been able to find the same thing since. I'm sure now they would have a different light on it, but it was This was back in the 1990s. It had a nightlight bulb. What they used nightlights back then, and it had a sticky pad, and it was designed so the cats couldn't get to the sticky pad, and the light would attract the fleas to it, and they would stick to that sticky pad. That worked pretty good. I used to have one of them under my bed, one under the couch, and they work pretty good. But I just haven't been able to find a similar one since. I never heard of that, Eunice. Yeah, that's what I'm always looking for, Katie's Pet Safe. Yeah, I'm afraid to use any essential oils, Ace. There's so many of them that are bad for cats. I know there's a few that are safe, but there's just so many that aren't safe. I'm afraid to use any of them. Hello, Gary. Yes, Judy. The Cap Star or Cap Action is it's a pill. What I do, I put it in the cat's mouth, hold the mouth shut, and scratch your neck right here. Because I was reading that if you scratch him right here, it makes him swallow. And it seems to work. Not 100%. Occasionally, you're going to get a cat that will not swallow it and will spit it out. But what I do is I watch them. Most cats won't spit it out right in front of you. So just watch where they're going for a minute. And then all of a sudden, if you see them drop their head like that, go look. Because the pill's probably going to be on the floor. But I would say I have probably 90 to 95% success with it. I can't get it in Sanford's mouth. He absolutely refuses it. But he's the only one that I absolutely cannot give it to. And you can get them on Amazon, Walmart, Chewy, a lot of places. Come on, Gary, you gotta have your priorities. YouTube first and then work second. You let the chief know. Yeah, I love the ones that I had years ago, Katie. I haven't been able to find anything similar to what those were. Yeah, I might be able to redneck something there. That's right. Yep, Gary, it's all about the money. I'm gonna look into that Verback, Eunice. I can tell you one thing about putting medicine in a cat's mouth now. I'm getting so I can do it. That showed me how to do it. And even Daisy, I'm giving her medicine now. And she has always fought medicine real bad. I can give her medicine now. Nope, doesn't work, Katie. I bought some pill pockets. It worked first couple times. And now they get suspicious if I even take the pill pocket package out. So that's why I have to give them the cap action down the throat now. Because I used to hide them in the pill pockets, and it worked a few times. Then they figured it out, and once one figured it out, they all know it now. Hello, Rick. He very well could be Joanne, because he started out on the street. When I first took him in, I thought he was like 2 or 3 months old, based on his size. But the vet said he was about 5 months old. But boy, is he a sweet cat. He is so thankful to have a home now. Okay, Eunice, I'll have to check that out. Yes, cats love cheese. In fact, Batman would come running if I had cheese out. Even right up until probably 2 days before he died, he was running over every time I got the cheese out. The other cats, they like cheese too, but they don't go crazy over it like Batman did. You know, Katie, that's the way Oreo is with potato chips. He he won't eat a potato chip if I give it to him, but he'll go in the bag and get them out. Okay, I'll have to check in those flea traps and see if they're what I'm looking for. Because I know I loved those things years ago. They really helped me out. Well, the meetup would be from Friday through Sunday, Katie. Um, Probably what's going to happen is some people may even get their Thursday. But I'm thinking right now, have a organized dinner on Friday, meet and greet, and then there'll be activities on Saturday. Saturday's always a big day for any meetup. And then Sunday, probably breakfast, a church service, and then probably people start leaving. Yeah, Katie, I definitely would rent a car, especially for that distance, because you probably would have to fly into Fort Smith. Then you're going to be, I don't know, probably 100 miles north of the meetup. So, yeah, I think renting a car would be your best bet. I'm not sure, Emily. Actually, when I go, hopefully this week, then I can check and see what service is like there. No, the meetup we're talking about, Arkansas, Emily. So it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Yeah, Katie. I don't think there's any place any closer. So yeah, flying just really wouldn't be an option. Well, come on down to the meetup, Emily. You can do a live. Hello, Farm All and Fords. Yeah, I've noticed several channels that I've never seen until the past few days been showing up. I appreciate that. Yes, definitely, Katie. And if you fly, then you've got to either make arrangements for someone to pick you up, and then you're stuck unless you can find another ride if you needed to go to the store and pick anything up or whatever. But you rent a car, then all of a sudden you get to the meetup and oh, I need such and such from the store. Then you're able to go get it. Yeah, it's not that bad of a drive. Oh, it's tough to learn all the lives. But I go live Sunday at 5:30 Central and Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central. I know some people think I'm crazy for doing a live at 10 o'clock in the evening, but I just went on the end of the other people that was doing that. I started doing that about 3 years ago. It actually works out pretty good for me. Does someone want to drop the link to the list that Ralph has? Um, Southern Southern QA something. I know someone knows what I'm talking about. If someone could drop that link, that's got a list of all the lives that Ralph knows about, meetups, some people that have stores. Yeah, I want to go to Texarkana sometime, Katie. I've heard about Texarkana my whole life. And now that I'm living this close to it, I've got to make a trip there someday. Yeah, I'm gonna, Katie. Maybe once I get my hip replaced and get recovered from that and stuff, maybe I'll feel more like doing some traveling. But right now, I don't feel like doing a lot of traveling. Hello, Susan. Yeah, that's cool when you can be in multiple states at the same time. I'm not doing too bad, Susan. Yeah, that's what everyone tells me, Emily. Yeah, I want to go to Louisiana sometime. Years ago, my goal was to visit all the lower 48. And I'll tell you, just moving to Arkansas about doubled the number of states I'd visited. But I'll never get all the lower 48 done now. But I want to, I know that's going to be very easy. Mississippi's not going to be bad. Tennessee. I'd like to do Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Not far into Florida. I'm thinking maybe just make a loop, Alabama into Florida, then up into Georgia. Because then I can say I had been to those states. I won't have to have my left side done, Emily. Well, in the near future. The only reason my right side is so bad is one, the arthritis in it, and two, because the blood flow is shut off to it. Yep, you sure are well traveled, Judy. Yeah, well, that's what my father had done. I think he had his right side done first, if I'm not mistaken. Then 6 months later, had his left side done. Or it was the other way around, but I know he had one side done, then 6 months later, the other side. Hello, Midnight Madness. Well, most of the states I've been to, I've just been through them. Arkansas and New York are the only two states that I've lived in. I spent a night in Connecticut, a night in New Hampshire, a night in Texas, and a night in Missouri. I was supposed to spend a night in Indiana, but it ended up being just a few hours. And that was on my way down here. Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to meet you, Rick. I'm hoping I can meet you this fall, too. Yeah, when things get closer and I'm able to set a date, or even before I set a date, I'll probably see who's going to be able to help me get moved into the big house and then figure out a date from there. If I don't know what everyone's got going on. You got family in Indiana, right, Gary? That's funny, Judy. But I can tell you one thing. I would never want to live any farther north than I am right now. Absolutely not. I wouldn't even want to live in northern Arkansas. It gets too cold. Yeah, that's what I thought, Gary. Hello, Sam. You know, I don't want to do carnivore for long term, but I have thought about doing that for a short period of time. You know, no one posted that link, so I'm gonna see if I can do it. Or someone did post it, I didn't see it. I guess I'm going to be able to do it pretty easy. Well, I see Arlene just posted it. But I'm almost there, so I'm posting it too. There we go. Okay, that link that I just posted, click on that, and Ralph from Web to Web maintains that site. And any of the lives that people let him know about, he has listed on there. Any of the meetups that people give him information on are listed. It's not a complete list because not everyone lets him know what's going on. But he tries to get people to let him know what's going on, and he keeps the list updated. And some of the people that have stores, their links to be on there. So check that out. A lot of good information on there. Yep, Rick, we were just talking about that earlier. Um, I would think, because I'm trying to get into the mind of the contractor now, I would think he would have the house ready by the middle of October. And my surgery is not going to be until after the first of the year. Because after I get the injection next Monday, I can't have the surgery for at least 3 months. So I'm thinking at some point between middle of October and Christmas time is when I'll be moving in there. So when things get closer and I can actually see what's going on, then I can figure out what's going to be a good time for everyone. And I'll make it a fun day for everyone. Hopefully, there'll be enough people so no one has to work overly hard. And I'll make sure there's plenty of food. Okay, Judy. I'll have to check her out. Hello, Petty Plums here. Okay, Judy. Yeah, I'll check her out. No Midnight Madness. I won't be going to that. I thought about it a little bit, but I don't think I'm up to doing that right now. Yep, Susan, you're kind of on the wrong side of the pond. Oh, that'd be nice, Eunice. Yeah, I thought by 2025 we were supposed to have robots that would do all that stuff for us. What happened? Oh, my name's Peter. So if you want to call me Peter, that's fine. That's what most people call me. I've been called a few other names in my life, but they're not really YouTube appropriate. Yep. You accidentally typed in the word to drop your link. Get king or drop. Well, drop your link. And since the first word you typed in was king, Nightbot picked up on it. Yep, things are coming right along for you, Ed. Yeah, Emily, when we were kids, that's what they were saying. Okay, AR. Yeah, I don't like to get called late for supper either. Yeah, I know what you mean there, Eunice. I just shared a thing on Facebook today. It was a picture of Herbie, and it says, "This is the only self-driving car that I trust." Yeah, I can't believe never heard of Grandma before. Wait, no, seriously, Katie, I almost think I'd trust self-driving cars before some of the drivers are on the road. Because there's some drivers on the road that can't drive. Oh, okay. I'm going to subscribe to her right now. Turn on notifications. Boy, she's busy. She's done 3 lives in the past 18 hours. Um, about 2 videos in the past 2 hours. Oh, okay, Emily. I just got a notification that something was posted there. That must be what it was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, by the end of the week, there should be a video out on the meetup. I've got a busy few days coming up. I have to call tomorrow, make an appointment for Fluffy because she's getting so congested. I want to get her in as soon as I can. Dixie already has her appointment set up for Wednesday. Tuesday, my car goes to the garage. I got a coolant leak right where it goes into the heater core. So I don't know if it's a hose or if it's a heater core. I'm hoping it's a hose. Well, that's leaking, so gotta get that taken care of. And my washer fluid isn't squirting up on the windshield. Goes on the back window, but not on the windshield. So I'm gonna have them fix that. And then it's almost due for an oil change. I've got 12% left on my oil change, so I'm gonna have them change the oil and all the filters in it. Air filter, fuel filter, and everything. That's gonna happen Tuesday. I had a headlight blow a few weeks ago. I bought some bulbs, ordered them from Walmart, got a good deal on them. My hand didn't want to fit in there to change them. So I had Drew change my headlight bulbs for me today. So now, if I'm driving at night, maybe I'll be able to see. Because the thing is, one bulb's been messed up ever since I had the car. It wasn't aimed right. I don't think it got put in there right. But I didn't worry too much about it. I don't drive at night awful lot. And I had the other headlight taken care of it. Then the one that was aimed right blew. So, and then last Sunday, I had to make 2 trips to Fort Smith, about 50 miles each way. I took Superman to the ER, and then they kept him there. And then after he died, I went up to pick him up. So that wasn't a lot of fun driving with those headlights. So at least they're straightened out now. Then after Tuesday, the car should be in good shape again. Don't you love that, Ed? Many miles that you've driven. Yeah, I hope you got some good tires there, Midnight Madness. Last time I got 4 tires, tires cost me around 300. There was $80 to have them put on. Oh, we got a garage here in Waldron that's pretty good, Ed. They charge $70 an hour, and they don't charge for the full amount of time they work on it either. And so far, I've been happy with them. Oh, yeah, Katie. When they design some of this stuff, they think it's a midget that's going to be working on it. Hello, Sassy777. Well, thank you. Yeah, everyone's doing good. Yeah, I was saying earlier that Dixie has an appointment, go to the vet on Wednesday. She's going to have her blood work done. And her skin condition is starting to flare up a little bit. So they'll probably give her some medicine for that. But overall, she's in pretty good health. Um, Daisy and Felix are recovering from being sick last week. They're doing better. They still got a few more days of medicine. Excuse me. And Fluffy is pretty congested. She hasn't been to the vet since May, so she's doing pretty good. But I'm going to call in the morning and make her an appointment too. Dogs are all healthy. Yep, I wondered how many millions of miles it was, Ed. I figured quite a few. Yeah, with those headlights today, Drew wasn't even sure if he could do it, but he was able to. He said the only good thing is the side that was blown, he said was a little bit easier to get in there. And he was even able to replace the other one for me. Even though it wasn't blown, the bulb was in. Well, I've had the car for 16 months. And I haven't replaced the bulbs, and the low beam lights come on every time you put the car in gear. So those lights I've seen a lot. And he said that bulb didn't look good. So I told him to put the new one in, get rid of the old one. Because then I should be good for hopefully a couple years anyways. Okay, Susan, you have a good day. Yeah, I never drove anything too big. Drove a few fire trucks. And I had one job that was local delivery from a lumber company. And biggest thing I drove there, I think, was a truck with a 16-foot bed on it. Yeah, Midnight Madness. That's why Daisy and Felix went to the vet last week. They both had diarrhea. Felix was acting okay, but his tail and back legs and stuff were all dirty because he was making a mess when he was going. And Daisy, she was the same way. Plus, you could tell she just wasn't feeling good at all. But she seemed to be feeling better now. As soon as she sees me getting food out to open up the canned food, she comes running. I did have to cut the cats way back on their canned food because the vet recommended Prina Pro Plan for their dry food. She gave me a sample, and they just absolutely loved it. So I started buying that. It's more expensive because I was paying $16 for a 16-pound bag of the other, and this is $50. Actually, I think it's like $51 or $52 for a 16-pound bag. But it's supposed to be a lot better for them, and they just absolutely love it. And they don't even want the canned food now. They were getting 4 cans of canned food twice a day and still wanting more. Then they started not eating it all. I cut them back to 3 cans twice a day. They were still leaving it. Now I cut them back to 2 cans twice a day. And now they're cleaning it up. I don't know if the canned food's necessary or not. I stopped in the vet's office on Friday because I'm going to put an order in tomorrow for more food. And I couldn't really get a straight answer on whether or not I should discontinue the canned food altogether or what I should do. But They do like it as a little treat. So maybe what I'll do is just keep giving them a couple cans twice a day. Hi, Dino. This is Dino. Come here. He's out of reach now. Yeah, other than having a couple tests done at the vet, I really don't know what to tell you about that midnight madness. Okay, Judy, I'll do that. Yep. Show continued whether you hear or not, Gary. Yeah, I definitely understand. Yeah, bosses get like that. Yeah, I know, Eunice. It wasn't that long ago. It was very rare to see a woman truck driver. Now it's fairly common. The truck stop that I worked at, see, I worked there from 2018 to 2021. I would say there was probably half dozen woman truck drivers that were regulars. They were there at least once or twice a week, depending on when they were passing through the area. And of course, there'd be other ones that would just be there once in a while. Because that was the thing. We had our regular truck drivers that would have a route through that area. A lot of them would come through once a week. And then there'd be some that we would see once and might see him 6 months again, might not ever see him again. Here's Domino. I'll turn around and look at the camera. Want everyone to see your pretty face? Huh? She's a beautiful cat. Aren't she, Domino? Okay, you have a good night, Katie. Yep, some of it's more expensive than others, Emily. But I'll pay that $50 a bag if it's going to be healthy for them. Hello, Stephen. Yeah, it's Purina Pro Plan. Um, Bag's a little too far away for me to grab right now. I think it's Complete Essentials. And they've got other Purina Pro Plan that's more expensive. They've got some, uh, I don't know, there's different specialty foods. But the one I get, I'm pretty sure, is called Complete Essentials. Yep, $53. That's I've got the salmon one. They've got the chicken rice, and they've got a salmon flavored. Reason I got the salmon flavored because that's what the sample was that the vet gave me. And they just absolutely loved it, so I got the same thing. Yeah, back then that was really a rarity. I remember my dad was out somewhere with one of his friends. I think they'd gone to look at something for the farm. I don't know if it's a piece of equipment or a cow or something. Anyway, they stopped at a diner, and it wasn't really a truck stop, but truckers would stop there. And this truck pulls in, and a woman gets out of it. This was in the 80s. I was in high school, so probably mid to late 80s. And I remember he spent the next month telling everyone, "Oh, you won't believe what I saw the other day. We stopped at this diner, a tractor trailer pulled in, and a woman got out of the driver's seat." He was just so amazed by that. Because back then you didn't see it that often. Okay, everyone, you see it here. Gary's at work, so he can't pay attention to everything. So we can talk about them. Just kidding, Gary. Yes, Midnight Madness. Domino does seem to be very healthy. Okay, you have a good night, Rick. Yes, Midnight Madness. I order almost all my stuff for the cats from Chewy. I was getting my dog food there, but I get dog food at the local feed store now. They have a very good dog food there that's made by one of the local suppliers. Um, Either Arkansas, Missouri, or Oklahoma. I can't remember now where it is. But the chicken feed, dog food, all that stuff I get there, it all comes from one of those three states. It's a lot cheaper, and dogs love it. They're doing great on it. It's $23.99 for a 50-pound bag. So I get that there. But all my cat food and most of the supplies for the cats all come from Chewy. Okay, you have a good night, Gary. I thought you left. You came back, didn't you? Yeah, when I got my CDL, I had to parallel park the bus, but she made it easy on me. There was the long area where there was no vehicles parked. Just pull over here next to the curb. There was room enough to put a freight train in there. And that was my parallel park to a bus. Yeah, that was a very easy test. That actually was easier than my regular driving test was. Yeah, that's it, Judy. No law enforcement in here now. Yes, Judy, Domino is a lover when she's in the mood. She's not like this all the time. She's got to be in the mood. But she's a very, very sweet cat. And she got a birthday coming up. Let me see. About 2.5 months. A little under 3 months. On December 6th, she'll be turning 2 years old. I've been looking into pet insurance. Not sure if I'm going to get it or not. But I found two companies that are pretty reasonable. For the 15 cats, the one company would be, I think it's $106 a month. And another company would be 100 and I think 49 a month. And that would be unlimited coverage, $1,000 deductible, and 90% reimbursement. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. If one of them really gets sick and it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars, it'd be worth it. But the one company in particular, some are saying the great company never had a problem with the claims. And some people, not a lot, but there's a few reviews saying that they deny a lot of claims. Oreo would cost a little bit more, with him being 7 years old. He'd be closer to $20 a month. But the younger ones, you're looking at $8 to $10 a month. Yes, Midnight Madness. A cat can still spray even if they're fixed. It it's supposed to be less likely that they will, and some say that if you don't have them done until after they start spraying, that they never will stop. But yes, they definitely can still do it. Yeah, my oldest is 7. He actually turned 7 on May 13th. And then I've got 2 of them that will be turning 5 this fall. And then all the rest of them are, well, Fluffy and Dino turned 2 in April. All the rest of them are younger. You know, for years I've had more boy cats than girls. Now I've got more girls. No, floors aren't done yet. The landlord's waiting on a contractor to let her know when he can come and do it. He came on Labor Day to look the job over. And he had quite a bit of work lined up ahead of it. Plus, he's a pastor at one of the local churches. And they just had their revival. So he's been pretty busy. But I'm thinking, it seemed like to me he should have it done by the middle of October. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I'm thinking. Hello, Shadow. It must be early Monday morning for you. Yep, Emily. She loves me. All my cats do. Oh, Halloween's on a Friday this year. Yeah, I was just wondering if Halloween's going to be on one of my regular live nights, but it's not. You know, maybe I should be a YouTube star for Halloween. Yep, they sure do, Emily. Some of them don't show it as much as others, but they all love me. I might do that, Midnight Madness. You never know. Oh, that sounds scary, Eunice. Shot in the eye sounds bad enough, but on Halloween, I hope that turns out good for you. Yep, dress up as a cat. Hello, Eddie. You miss Gary. Or is that why you waited till now to comment? Well, if you look back through chat, Eddie, you see Gary wasn't working too hard. He chatted a lot tonight. Yep, Shadow 324. I thought it was pretty early there. Because I'm used to seeing you like 10, 11 o'clock our time. And it's like 6 o'clock your time. Hello, Candace. Yep, Eddie. No law enforcement in here now. Well, it looks like chat's slowing down. Yes, Midnight Madness. Yeah, because that canned food is expensive. Even the stuff that I'm buying, the Friskies indoor blend, well, all the Friskies are about the same price. I'm paying $18.69 for a case of 24 cans. So it's definitely cheaper. But I was trying to find out the other day, but I've got enough canned food. Now that I cut back, I don't need to order any anyways. Because I've got the case I'm using, which that's a full case will last me 6 days. Now that I cut back on it, I've got a full case I haven't opened, and I've got most of Batman's food. Because even though he liked it, he didn't want to be separated from the other cat when he ate, so he wasn't really getting the food that he was supposed to be getting. So I still have a lot of that left. I can get the Prenaproplan canned food for, I think that's about $50 a case. But where they're just getting 2 cans twice a day, maybe the Friskies is good. I know what I've been reading says that the canned food's better because they get a lot of their water content from canned food. But these guys are pretty good about drinking. I've got a water fountain for them, and I've got another, just a dish that I put water in. But I think I'm going to get them another one of these big water fountains. So they'll have the 2 of them. Because even Batman, he liked drinking out of the fountain. So I think he was getting plenty of water. Yeah, I guess I wasn't quite sure if I should keep doing the canned food or just go all to dry food. It would be easier and cheaper to go to all dry food. But I want to do what's healthy for them also. Proplan might help with diarrhea, even though Daisy and Felix have been eating that, and they still got diarrhea last week. Because I know the vet really does like it. I don't know why. Looks like I'm okay on StreamYard, but on YouTube, I'm froze. There, now it's working again. Oh, did that happen for anyone else? Because I seem to be okay on StreamYard, but my YouTube froze. Well, my cats aren't picky on their food. Hello, Winstone. Okay, Shadow. Well, I'm not new with Cat Shawnee, and I'm still learning. Well, I was doing some reading on that Midnight Madness. I was reading an article where they said some people say that the dry food's bad for the kidneys, but they were saying what's really bad is if they're not drinking enough water. That if they're drinking enough water, then it's okay. But I'm gonna try to actually talk to the vet when I have one of the appointments. So when I stopped in Friday, I want to get some answers before I put my order into QE tomorrow. But unfortunately, I couldn't talk directly to a vet, and I was trying to go through the receptionist, and she'd gone out back and talking to someone, and I think there was a communication breakdown. So I didn't really get all the answers I wanted. Okay, you have a good night, Eunice. Because these cats, they do like the fountain. I know some of them, they stick their head over and drink right where the water's cascading down. Yes, changing food can cause diarrhea. But I know the two I had with diarrhea last week, they've been eating the same food for probably a month or longer. Maybe it's been a couple months. Yeah, I think probably it's been a couple months since I switched to the Prena Pro plan. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, Winstone. Yep, I had dry food available 24/7. And then these guys, I give the canned food to twice a day. And the kittens over in the other house, they have dry kitten food 24/7. And I give them a can of canned food 4 times a day, or depending on the schedule, I'm not always over there 4 times. Sometimes they'll get 2 cans at a time. Now, I was concerned over them because they didn't seem to be growing like they should, but they're looking better now. Yeah, I'm looking into some more stuff, Shawnee. Here's Fluffy. Yeah, the water in the fountain seems to get dirty pretty quick. Of course, you got them sticking their feet in it and stuff. So I think what I'm going to do, well, I basically decided I'm going to get another fountain. And then I think I'm going to alternate changing the filter and scrubbing it out and stuff. where this one I'm doing once every 2 or 3 days. I take it outside, scrub it all out, put a new filter in it and everything. And I think what I'm going to do is probably still stick to that every 2 or 3 day schedule. But I'll do one today and then do the other one tomorrow or Tuesday. Get on that type of schedule. Yeah, if they don't have any teeth, that can be challenging. Yeah, if it's the right dry food, they say they're okay with that. Daisy and Domino over there chowing down on the dry food right now. Hello, Jonesy. Yeah, I'm going to have a lunch break here soon. Okay, Joanne, you have a good night. I hope everything gets straightened out for you. Yeah, I've been on here for over 3 hours. I might fade right away to nothing if I don't eat soon. Yeah, I probably should end this soon. I can grab something to eat. I gotta go to the other house and feed the kittens. Gotta feed the dogs. Got the chickens all taken care of. Both the ones in the house and the ones outside. They're all good for now. But sure, the dogs are probably out of food. And it's still all the cats. 2 cans of canned food. I will, Candace. Thank you. Well, thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it. I'll have another live Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central. And now that I'm feeling a little better, I can start getting some videos out. Got a couple projects coming up that I'm going to try to video. And I'm going to try to get a video out of the animals. So hopefully some good things coming. Okay, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.